everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to be doing a prediction reading for September 2025. Now, the reading that I've already done for the predictions for 2025 September have already happened. And most of those have already come to pass and already happened. So I'm going to do a couple more now and see testing with this deck to see what happens. I want to show you the new deck that's coming. This is what I'm testing for 2026. It's a deck that I'm going to be working with over the next couple of months to see what changes need to be made for this one. This is going to be similar to the Predictions Oracle, very different style, but also can be used for reading personal readings, messages for yourself. Now, when I tapped in, I've read some personal stuff with this deck just to test it. This is my second day with the deck. This is my first reading that I'm going to be doing with this deck. So we'll see how they go doing predictive readings. I've done some personal readings with this deck for myself. And this is a card I asked the deck, which card would you like to pop out to say that I have a good connection? And this card fell out 3 times. So this one here can be read. I always assign different purposes within the cards. That's for me personally. You may choose to do that as well. But when this card comes out, it's indicating that I have a good connection. But it has other meanings as well. And there is a guidebook that I'm working on over the next few months once I work out where these cards fall for certain situations. Very warm. They're on a black base, so the colours pop, but very warm tone to these decks with colourful. So they have flowers within the images to pop the colour pops within the deck, covering all areas such as changing course. You can see here, so that can be personally read as well. Boundaries is about, you can, as a personal, you would call that your boundaries are challenged, so having to have boundaries or being able to say no. For a prediction, we're talking about border issues. This one here, this is the entertainment industry or somebody getting their time in the spotlight if you're doing a personal reading. Eruption threshold, which are obviously talking about volcanoes or somebody with rage and being at the point where they're about to erupt. So you can read it both ways. So it gives an element of personal readings in this deck as well. So that's just a quick little flip through. Now I'm going to be doing a prediction reading for September 2025. Now, the reading that I've already done for the predictions for 2025 September have already happened. And most of those have already come to pass and already happened. So I'm going to do a couple more now and see testing with this deck to see what happens. Welcome back. I'm a little bit slower with reading these ones. I've had my other prediction deck for a long time now and I'm proficient with that deck, but this one is a little bit slower as I learn to gauge what the cards are trying to say here. So I'm going to start with each card and just let you know kind of what they mean, and then I'm going to put them together to see what they're trying to say. Now, first of all, we've got the animal signal card here. Is about strange migration patterns of animals. Animals are acting weirdly. Now, this can be in response to earth changes or things going on with the earth, such as earthquakes or volcanoes, and animals getting a sense of something strange happening within the earth. So then their patterns, they act very weirdly or strangely. So this is what this card here means. Now, we also have, as far as natural disasters, we've got the earthquake card down the bottom, which is eruption threshold, pressure release. We're talking about volcano activity. And when I said that everything on the September predictions have happened so far, everything except the volcano prediction has happened. But yeah, everything else has happened, but it's still coming up. This is for what's coming towards the rest of the month of September in 2025. So we have the volcano eruptions. We also have a fractured earth, shaky ground. We're talking about earthquakes. So we're having some more seismic activity within the earth still to happen within the month of September. This could be happening closer to the eclipse, when the eclipse is coming in. Within the next week, I guess, before the eclipse. So we can see here with the animal signals, animals behaving unusually, and usually this happens when they're sensing strangeness or seismic activity within the earth. And then we have the two cards indicating seismic eruptions or upheaval within the earth, so activity as far as earthquakes or volcanoes. Now, the other card we have authoritarian response on the table. Now, this card here is comes up in situations around global crises, can be where the government is stepping in to say, okay, we want to bring an end to this situation. So I've made a few notes on my as I was creating the cards, I was making some notes of the possible meanings as based on the symbology within the about government crackdowns or on protests or gatherings. Could even be social media posts. So people stirring situations up with social media posts. This is the authority stepping in to force compliance in some way to stop that from happening. So this is also about rising authoritarianism or political overreach, tensions between safety and liberty. So issues still to come around September for this. We already are in the middle of that kind of situation, but we're still getting a bit more of that by the looks of it for September. As a world event interpretation, this card marks a moment when power structures react to perceived threats with force, restriction, or manipulation. It reflects the use of emergency powers, censorship, militarized policies, or surveillance, and often justified as protection, but rooted in fear and control. So keep that in mind over the next couple of weeks. So that this is what this one here is indicating. Now, let's take a look at the synthetic mind, the AI adaptation. So this card here is all about the world that we live in when it comes to AI, and AI being involved in a lot of different things. So it's adapting to AI, integrating in this technology world that we live in. It marks the global adoption of artificial intelligence across every sector. Now, it did come up already in the September readings about AI within the medical industry. Now, that one, funny enough, I just saw that one last week on our mainstream media. It was talking about Liverpool Hospital using synthetic or robots or AI to diagnose but also perform surgeries, which I thought I had no idea that was already a thing. But it did come up that it was going to be in the news in September, and I did see it on Channel 9 on our mainstream media here last week. So this here also comes up in situations where the integration of artificial intelligence across all sectors. It becomes embedded in daily operations, decision making, or creative processes. Now, because it's sitting to assist and perhaps even to assist and support people. Now, this could be around students writing essays. They're using it for assistance and support, but there's a call over here because again we've got the authoritarian response, a call for compliance. So for the AI industry to comply to certain standards. So there's a bit of a call for that going on as well. I can see by these three cards lined up together. So moving on to the next one, we have a crowning role. Leadership, something going on with leadership. So let's dive deeper about this one. Now just see if I can show you. I mean, I think this one's pretty obvious it doesn't really need an explanation, but I feel with the cards sitting side by side, we're getting a support and assistance or intervention when it comes to a leader requiring support and assistance because the community or the country is on the brink of eruption. So this is a pressure release. This is the public this gives me UK vibes, but it's like I could even actually now with the recent passing of Charlie Kirk, this could actually be an eruption of people and issues around leadership. So we're talking either UK or US, I feel, with this situation here. And what we're looking at is seeking assistance and support or intervention of some sort to assist in leaders are calling for assistance and support to try and help the upcoming eruption or protests. And again, it really feels over here. It aligns, and you can see them diagonal, again aligns to that situation that I've already talked about. And the shelterless crisis displacement card sitting next to that could also be continue with the story that there's issues with housing in different countries. We don't have enough infrastructure or enough housing to support our own people or veterans, let alone the issues around other people coming in. So it's quite a challenging eruption point when not everybody has housing. There's a lot of people on the streets. Now we've got downgrade sitting above that. So let's take a look a little bit deeper into the downgrade situation to see what this could possibly be. Downgrade obviously means something, it says don't panic. So a situation that could be almost to the point of panic is saying it's downgraded. Don't panic. Okay, downgrade alert. It signals a turning point in global tension, which is good because we did come up in the September reading at the beginning was escalating tension. We had the Israel card in there. We had the explosions card in there, and to the point of escalating tension. Now this is de-escalation, so we may be starting to come down hopefully towards the end of the month. This card here is indicating a downgrade alert. So it's when a predicted crisis loses momentum or the storm weakens. It appears when a panic subsides, diplomacy prevails, or nature spares what was feared. So downgrade on a earthquake, maybe downgrade on a volcano where there was a fear that it was going to be worse than what it actually is, and that panic is downgraded. But again, it could be to do with the authoritarian. It could be linked to that one as well. But a downgrade is a good outcome. It means it's not going to be as bad as what they were thinking it was going to be. So conflict resolution, it can be cooling tensions when fear gives way to clarity, reassessing the risk or recalibrating a response, global events that shift from crisis to calm, and the power of restraint and strategic pause. So this is a good card to have, I feel. So maybe these earth seismic events are not going to be as bad as what we thought. But still on the table with these ones, we've got one more over here, which is blurred boundaries. This is merging divides. Now you can see this one here is merging divides between, the world is very divided at the moment. There's people coming against each other in all different ways. So there's very much division going on within the world, and this one is blurring the boundaries between divides. Could be talking about boundaries, borders, and merging, or it could be talking about blurring the boundaries or borders, or we could be talking about AI sitting right next to AI, and where things are so realistic now with AI, videos and people. I actually saw a social media on TikTok of a man that created a woman avatar, and she looked so real, and to the point where he was getting donations or money sent to him, and people didn't even know that it wasn't a real woman, it was an AI. So here the boundaries are divided now. You cannot tell if something is a real person or not. This is also blurring boundaries between sides, divisions here as well. So this is still what's to come for September. And we'll see how we go. I think they're pretty easy to read. This is my first reading with these cards, so I think they're pretty straightforward. They follow the principles of the prediction oracle. You can see downgrade was in that one. There's a few new cards, obviously, that wasn't in a lot more. This is more based on things that are going to be relevant for 2026 through to 2030. So there's a lot more of those things that are going to be issues that are going to be more relevant in those months. So less about the we had pandemics and more about lockdowns and things like that in that last deck. This one here is about things that will be coming up. These will be the issues coming up into the future, and that's what it's focusing on. The prediction deck will still be very relevant. A lot of things in there such as earthquakes, volcanoes. It'll still be able to be read and very useful deck, but this one's focusing on things that will be coming up in the future. So you can see here for this is September, so we'll see how we go. I'll be back next month and we'll check out how these cards have gone. But you're going to see me using these cards now. I'm going to be using them for pick a card readings. I've got to work out how they work, what needs to be taken out, make sure they do actually work, and how easy they are to read. I'm creating the PDF as I go. So as I'm learning more about the cards and how they work together, I'll include that in the PDF notes. And yeah, this is what I'll be working on for the next few months to make them ready for 2026. If they are working. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back again next month with another prediction reading where I'll combine the prediction deck with the forecaster oracle. So they're both together. So this is a new one. Thank you so much for watching.